What's up, Cherish and Flow fam? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then stick around, see if you love me. And if you do, then subscribe and turn your notification bell. If you're not new here, then welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for loving me as much as I love you. And let's get right into today's video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to refocus and get done. I feel like I've done a video like this before, like years ago, but this is kind of like an updated version. I'm basically going to be sharing what I did because I know that I lost focus over the past year, maybe year and a half. Y'all already know what happened with my business for the most part. If you don't, then go check out the last life update video. I got stressed, I got depressed, life started lifing, and it was just, I lost focus. You guys stopped getting videos. I completely ixnayed the blog, and my business wasn't getting as much focus. It was just a whole lot of. And so I've kind of like locked back in tune with my star player, got back to my workaholic girl boss self. Not workaholic. We're not gonna promote the stress. Let's get right into today's video. First is the figuring out where and why. I don't watch other people's videos that is like this, so maybe that's probably why. Maybe this is something that everybody says, because I do feel like knowing your why in every predicament and situation is kind of where you start. Knowing the source, knowing the key, knowing what's at the soul of it is super duper important. So when you're trying to figure out, okay, you lost focus, once you've recognized, okay, I lost focus, I'm off track right now, circle back, start retracing your steps. Where was I when I first started losing focus, when I first started losing track? I know where I was. It took some time because there was contributing factors that I did not pay attention to that were like months before I was completely off track. It was like I was tippy-toeing off the track. Sometimes like there's like little things happen, and then this happens right after that, and this happens right after that. Go back to the very first thing that happened that started the domino effect of you getting off track. And getting back to there, the source of that, why did that get you off track? Not just where you got off track, but why in that scenario did you start to tippy toe off track? Why did that affect you that way? And that leads you to the next thing, is to eliminate things and people who are distracting to you and your goals. If it's disrupting your focus, it gets to go. If something is in and of itself a disruption to your focus, because sometimes things don't have to be disruptions to our focuses, it's about us and our priorities. So that's another thing when it comes to self-reflection. You have to look at the why. Is it because of that thing or that person? They're like putting themselves in your life and consistently disrupting you, like they're not respecting what you have going on, or are you allowing yourself to take your little self over there and you're not prioritizing the things that you need to prioritize? That makes it a self issue. That doesn't make them the problem, that makes you the problem. And that's what a lot of us have to learn how to differentiate. Sometimes it's not our friends, it's us. Our friends are going to hang out with us if you want to hang out with them. But if we're out there seeking after it instead of focusing on our goals, we're the problem, not them. So that's where you have to like really reflect. Figure out both the where and the why. But if it is a person or a place or a thing, something is in and of itself a disruption in your life, and even when you try to prioritize your goals, that thing continues or that person continues to get in the way, then yes, it's time to eliminate. It's time to distance ourselves. It's time to change our environment, whether that is with people, whether that is with places, whether that is with things, all that different types of stuff. That is where it's important to know yourself. I always say this because a lot of times people are giving this advice and they're not emphasizing the fact that you can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm cutting this out because I need to focus. No, you need to figure out, what is the problem here? Why is this a problem? Is this a problem because it is a problem, or is this a problem because you don't have self-control? Figure it out. And if the problem is you, then we need to work on ourselves. That needs to be the priority. That is the why, not the thing, the you. So I'm sorry, I keep saying that because I feel like a lot of times when I'm talking to people and I'm giving this particular bit of advice, they get to blaming other things and other people when the common denominator is consistently and constantly them. So know whether or not it is actually these people in your life or these things in your life, these habits, that job, or if it's you. The next thing is to check your habits. Are your habits getting in the way of you being focused? This is one of the reasons why I say, like, I have a morning routine, I have a night routine, but they change consistently. They're not very routine because they are always in a place of change. The reason for that is that we as people, we do thrive on routine. So having something that you are going to do, having decisions being taken off the table for you in the mornings and the evenings, knowing that there's a certain measure of steps that's being done is helpful. However, sometimes those steps have to change. They need to maneuver. They need to be readjusted. They need to pivot a little bit. In order to really be able to regain focus, sometimes you have to just kind of pivot and move things around. Check your habits. What things are you doing right now that is keeping you from being focused? One of the habits that kept me from being focused, that really disrupted my focus, that it took me a very long time to realize, is every single morning when I wake up, I checked my phone. And all throughout the day, when my phone rings, if something pops up on my phone, I'm going to look at it, I'm going to read it. And next thing I know, I'm looking at the other thing, and I'm looking at the other stuff that I missed, the notifications I didn't see. Because of this, and this is something that I've done that may not work for everybody, but it is in a semi-extreme measure that I took. I turned off the notifications for almost every single app on my phone. I don't get notifications when I get text messages. I don't get notifications for Instagram, for Twitter, for LinkedIn, for Facebook, for none of the things. I don't get the notifications because I have a habit of once I open up one notification, I have to open up all of them. If I don't see any, then it's not until I have the downtime and I have the time to look at my phone that I can go through the notifications and get to looking at stuff and responding to text messages and all of that. Now, that's not really necessarily the case for everybody. Sometimes your habits are something different. Maybe your habit is when you get home from work, you don't take any time to just decompress. You go right into working. That's going to make you burn out and you're going to lose focus. Sometimes the habit is you wait until the very last minute to wake up in the mornings for you to get ready for work. I've been doing that a lot lately. I'm not going to lie to you. Hasn't affected my focus yet, but it is a habit that I have that I'm going to have to work on because I know it is going to affect my consistency as I've gotten back to focus. So check your habits. What are you doing that could be contributing? And this also takes us back to the first thing, which is, knowing yourself, doing that self-reflection. What habits are you implementing into your life or that you just have? Maybe you've always had it. Maybe it's a lifelong habit that you never realized has affected you, your focus and your consistency and trying to achieve and accomplish your goals. I don't know. What is consistent things that you do in the place of what you need to be doing? The next thing may not make a lot of sense to a lot of people right away. I said this to a friend recently. He asked me for advice. He said he was having trouble with focus and also with his temper and a bunch of other stuff. And one of the things that I said was just to try practicing mindfulness. Now, this is not something that I do all the time. I am not your meditation girl, not a meditation girly. Y'all people who can sit down and focus your mind and turn your mind off. My mind, as soon as I close my eyes and try to turn my brain off, my brain gets to doing one of these. It just gets to doing the utmost. So yeah, I'm not a meditation girly by far, but I am a girl who practices mindfulness in different ways. For one of the things that I do when I'm practicing mindfulness, sometimes when I'm having an anxiety moment, I start practicing, the what my therapist taught me with focusing on a specific sense. So like I get to practicing mindfulness by closing my eyes, and instead of trying to shut off my brain, I try to focus my mind on a sound. And I just try to see how far out my brain can hear. And you'd be surprised what little sounds, what little increments of things that you're picking up on. You're just like, yo, like I remember sitting out on my balcony when we lived in the other apartment. And if you remember, I used to love sitting out on my balcony. I was sitting on my balcony in the morning, drinking my coffee, and I would listen to the sound, and I would hear a bird in the distance. And then as I'm hearing the bird in the distance, and I keep listening, I started to hear a truck driving by in the distance. And next thing I know, I'm hearing a full-blown, not like I hear exactly what they're saying, but I'm hearing people talk. And they're like way far. I can't see them. Wherever they are, I can't see them, but I can hear them. I hear voices. I'm hearing small maneuvering. People getting out of the car, people's keys jingling. I'm hearing little things, and I'm just taking note of all these sounds, taking these mental notes of all these sounds. And it is very calming and relaxing. I don't know why. And this probably won't work for everybody, but it is something to try. I also tried the visual kind, which doesn't help me as much, but where I kind of like focus on one spot, like a part of your carpet, or like staring at a tree and just kind of like staring at it for a long time and noticing all the little details of it, noticing the grooves, noticing the this. That kind of mindfulness can really help you. I also started practicing mindfulness and doing my everyday tasks. I started listening to the sound of my breath, and I started doing things like listening to what it sounds like when I'm being slow and intentional with the things that I'm doing, because it's simple ways to practice mindfulness without feeling like you got to sit down and meditate and be still and be quiet. Because if you're like me and your brain is constantly moving, that's a very big task, okay? Telling me to sit down and be quiet and just shut up and just not gonna happen up here. So I practice mindfulness in different ways, and there's lots of different ways to practice mindfulness. If you guys want to, you can Google different ways to practice mindfulness. If you guys want me to do a video on different ways to practice mindfulness, I can do different ways to practice mindfulness, and I'll give you guys visual examples. I'll demonstrate. If that's what you guys want me to do, let me know. I am really looking at myself instead of the camera. Is the camera? Yeah, I'm really looking at myself instead of the camera. I apologize. I got my hair done recently. I didn't unbraid all the braids, as you guys can see. We're going to do a commercial break. And I really like how the girl did my hair. Her name is Katrina. I'm going to put her information on the screen. She is fire. She does her thing. I wanted just like a braid out in the back and then these braids. And y'all know I could not do this myself. But she did this. And I didn't undo all of these yet. But she did them like this and then braided the back, and it got rained on a little bit today, but it's so cute, y'all. I love it. 4C hair for the win. Another thing that actually one of my previous clients told me, who she was a therapist, and it was something that she told me as I was talking about depression and anxiety and all that stuff. Another thing that can help you when it comes to focus is taking your vitamins and paying attention to your diet. Now, if you know me, I'm not the best at taking care of my physical health. I'm just not the best. But I have been working on it. I've been working on taking B12 and other vitamins that help boost your productivity. It helps increase your focus, and it helps increase your energy, and not like in a way where you're like hyper, because that's what the Red Bull is for, baby, because I'm a Red Bull baby. It's also for helping you with things like being able to focus. There's certain vitamins, certain things, there's certain deficiencies that we can have, things that our body is missing that it needs that can help us with our focus. And if you have ADHD or ADD, it can be a little hard to like focus, you know? So like knowing what it is that you are deficient of and figuring out what it is that your body needs, eating those foods and trying to get yourself into the practice of focusing is really helpful. If you guys want to know what else you can use to focus, then make sure you guys go and check out my blog on churchandflow.com/blog. I'm going to do the rest of this list on that blog and talk about other ways for you to refocus and get back into the zone. As far as focusing is concerned, I am going to be trying to make some content that kind of coincides with the blog, because a lot of people come from my blog and come here and go to the blog, and they're getting two completely different things. I wanted to kind of, you know? Anyways, if you made it to the point in the video, you love me, right? You love me? You think I'm cute? You think I'm cute? Then subscribe and turn the notification bell. You found this helpful? Subscribe and turn the notification bell. You enjoy my personality? Subscribe and turn the notification bell. Go ahead and tell your friends, tell your home squibs, tell your home squibs that your homegirl over here is helping you. Like, you know, run me my props, please. Make sure you go follow me on all my socials. Cherishing Flow on everything. Instagram, X, not on Facebook. There is a Cherishing Flow Media LinkedIn page. So if you guys want to go follow my business page, you can go follow that. But especially Instagram, Snapchat, and X. Go follow me on here. Pop it up on the screen. I'm saying that, and like, I'm not the person who's probably going to edit this video, and I'm not popping nothing up on anybody's screen. So just go follow, please. I love you guys ever so much. Oh, notification shout out. Boom. Y'all thought I forgot, didn't you? And I didn't. Sorry. Burst of energy. Anyway, love you guys ever so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.